Hello everybody, I'm Dutch, and today I want to show you how to make a soft shackle for tarps. First thing I have to stress to you is this is not for human suspension. This is only for connecting your tarp. And there's a couple of things. It's basically a metalless carabiner, and there's a loop here, and it opens up, and then there's a knot on the other end, and what you're doing is making 11-inch piece strand, has a knot on one end and a double loop on the other. So when you put this together, it's going to wind up making about a 4-inch loop, which seems ideal for making a pressic on a tarp. When you move a pressic, if you grab the knot, you can easily slide it, but when the tarp is putting pressure on it, it acts like a constrictor, and hopefully it locks into place. If that doesn't happen, sometimes you got to go and manipulate this or tighten it up so that all the strands are nice and even. But for the most part, it stays really good. And you can connect and disconnect your tarp very easily by opening up the loop and connecting that into your D-ring. So let's get started on how to make them. All right, first off, we want a piece of zinc. I use 1.75, and it has to be at least 18 inches long. This one's longer, and I'll show you why that doesn't matter in the end. I like to make these continuously because we make a lot of them. So I'll take like a 4-foot piece of scrap, and I'll make a bunch of them, and I'll cut them as I'll go. But it should be at least 18 inches long to start with. So the first thing we have to do is a taper. In order to do a taper, you take the end of your zinget, open it up. I like to be about 3/4 of an inch from the end, and then you take your needle and you get a strand and you pull that out. You want to keep the rest of this as neat as possible. I pull 3 strands out on an 8-strand rope, which this is an 8-strand rope. So you would do this to 3 strands and then cut them off flush, and then you would go to the other end and you would cut it off flush. With the magic of television, I've already done all that. So I now have a 21-inch piece. I've done a taper on both sides, and we can now make the loop that's on this side. As you see, it's like a figure 8 that then becomes a lock Bremel, and then there is a berry. So we want to fold this at 4 inches, and I just put a good hard bend on it. That way it kind of stays marked like that. So this is the short strand, and this is the long strand. We're going to make this part right here, and we want this to be a loop that is a little bit bigger than the diameter of the rope. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to pierce the rope, trying not to split any strands. And I'm going to get 4 strands on each side. Thread my needle. This is a number 16 needle, by the way. So then we want to pull this small strand through the big strand. And we want to keep that loop and that 4-inch bend that we had. So then we want to take the little strand, keep the needle threaded, and we want to come down about 1 inch. The goal here is that you have room to move this so that you can open this up big enough in order to get the knot through there. So I don't actually measure this. I like to squish it like an accordion. That opens them up the strands a little bit, makes it easier to get through there. and I pierce the rope. One thing you'll notice is that I'm keeping everything on the same plane. I am now pulling this through this direction so that this all stays nice and straight. I didn't twist this around and go through here, making this bend, and it just keeps things a little bit neater. When you put the needle on the taper, you don't want to go all the way down to where the taper is. You want it to be halfway, because when this folds, this is now 10 strands thick. Whereas if I go all the way down here, it would be 13 strands thick, and it would be difficult to pull through. So I pull the short through the big, and I leave it so this is nice and even. Now I'm going to run the big through the short. So right where they intersect, open up the short, insert your needle, and then I take the long strand and I thread it. To thread, what I like to do is I squish it, I push it right up against where the needle is, and hopefully it has no place to go but through the needle hole. The more pristine that you keep these strands, the easier this becomes. Once it starts getting fluffy, it gets a lot harder to thread the needle. So we're going to pull this through. And we want to pull it all the way through. Okay, to finish up this lock Bremel, all we have to do is the berry. A berry is when you take this loose strand, stick it inside of the long strand. So right where they intersect, I'm going to open it up, and I insert my needle like you are injecting a vein. I like to thread the needle on first, or thread the needle into the rope first and then thread the eye of the needle, but some people do that differently. And you can see this is just starting to get a little bit bunched up, but we're okay. This is the last splice I'm doing on this. So I want to put a whole bunch onto this needle. And then I poke it out, and I have to have enough that I can grab. I want to fold this back so it's going to go in there easily. And I'm going to give myself a little bit more. And to get it in there, this becomes the toughest splice. And slowly that will work in there. Once you get it started, it gets a lot easier. And if I did this right, hopefully I did it right, you pull in anything that's left over, and then you pull this back, and this is where the magic happens. That rope disappears, and we now have a lock Bremel with a figure 8 on it. So the last part of this is going to put the other end. We want to put a finished end on here, and then we're just going to tie an overhand knot onto it. So we want this to be 11 inches. The thing is that when you put one rope inside of the other rope, it makes the one rope fatter and it shortens it a little bit. So you actually want to go and enter the needle at about 11 3/8 inches. So I'm going to come down to about here, open it up, and again I put it in like I am going into a vein. When I do this, I like to not push the needle through the rope. I like to push the rope onto the needle. and that makes it so that it doesn't fall off as easily. I don't need a whole lot on here. We just need to make a berry. That's a little bit more than an inch. I think that's plenty. And thread the needle. This will be our last time threading the needle. Gonna do that again. Oh, missed a strand again. This is why it's really important to keep these strands as pristine as possible. All right, there we go. So I can poke this back out and I pull that in. And last thing I do is I bunch this up a little bit on here. I take my knife. And I pull that back. So the last piece that you need for this is the end nut, and it kind of works well on this very thick end here, kind of keeps it from getting, but I'm just doing an overhand nut, and it kind of keeps it from getting undone. Understand that if you were doing something for human suspension, you have to make a button nut or something of that nature. But now we have about a 4-inch loop, which is what you need for a soft shackle. Thank you, everybody.